So here we are then, the Salvation Army building where I guess my grandmother might have joined up.
Mabel was 20 when she left Glasgow for London to train as an officer or full-time vicar.
I came across this amazingly interesting piece. I think maybe if we just put it out over here, because...
It looks like a Cornish.
It is, yes. You see what this says? A Cornish pasty for our beloved general on his 80th birthday. That's a very prized piece.
Golly.
But if we get inside here, it's very delicate, as you can imagine.
Be careful.
Take it out very carefully. One part is still attached to this pasty. You see, that's headed to the Cornwall Division. And there's the picture of the divisional officers. And we come down Bodmin, Camborne, Devonport, and we come to Falmouth. And
there she
here
is.
we have Lieutenant Mackay. That's your grandmother. Look at that headwear.
You call that a bonnet? I suppose you do.
That was a bonnet, yes. And very fashionable at the time, of course. And it had this very large brim. This brim evolved in order to give protection.
What, against the elements, or...?
No, against the mobs, the stones and the rotten eggs and other missiles that might be thrown. So
They were attacked, were they?
Oh, yes. The Salvation Army had a lot of opposition in its earlier days.
So this is like a policeman's helmet, effectively, that sort of thing. I mean, it's to stop them getting whacked on the head.
That's right.
Gosh.
We've got here a reference to the passing of your...
Great-grandmother, Mary Mackay, Mabel's mother.
That's right. And it says here that the deceased was a member of the Salvation Army Citadel, number 4. So at some point, your great-grandmother became a Salvationist. Now that might have started here, in this area of Glasgow.
The city fathers in Dundee deemed that this pauper, my great-grandmother, was, morally unfit to continue receiving poor relief because she'd had an illegitimate child. Would that have been an issue for the Salvation Army?
Not at all. No, she would have been welcomed at the army, and the army would have made sure that she was supplied with food and clothing and love. There would have been support, friendship around her. Everyone was welcome at the army.
Well, I'm glad you found it.
We are too.
Well, thank you very much for this.
It's been a real privilege.
It's been very interesting.
And we're very glad to think there's a little bit of Salvation Army blood in your veins.
I'm afraid it's a bit diluted with beer these days.
Well,
Are you all teetotal?
All members of the Salvation Army are teetotal, yes.
Mary's obituary reveals that altogether 6 children left for Canada with her, including the illegitimate Dora. But Jeremy's grandmother Mabel stayed in England. She married Maurice Dixon, a Salvation Army bandsman. And within 10 years of leaving Glasgow with her Bible, Mabel settled into married life in Yorkshire, and in 1920 gave birth to Jeremy's mother, Joan.